What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. So today we've got some new four-wheelers in the garage. Let's talk about this one. This one is a 1999 Trail Boss 250. I got it for $450, which a lot of you are probably thinking, wow, that's quite a bit, but it didn't need hardly anything, and in my area, they usually go, depending on condition, running and driving, they usually go for about $900 to $1,200, and I got it. You can't see it, but the rear brake rotor was missing. The chain needed to be tightened, and for some reason they had all the plastics off of it. I don't know why, but they had all the plastics off of it. This piece of plastic is missing, but I ordered it, found it on eBay, and the reservoir for the brakes was broken. So I got that off eBay, got the brakes bled, and I need to put some new brake pads on it. They're on the way. Oil injected, still works. A lot of people, including me, I know, get rid of the oil injection and just pre-mix the gas. I'm one of them. I don't trust it, but it still worked. And what else was wrong with it? The carburetor needed to be cleaned, and the driven clutch was bad. So I just took the driven clutch off of this one and put it on there. They're the same. And yeah, runs and drives and no broken plastics. I really like the 250s. I really do. They're fun, they're fast. You know, they're lots of fun to just go out and rip around on. So I'm probably, with the $450 I paid for it, I'm probably $540 into it. It's going to be up for sale this week as soon as I get that piece of plastic that's missing in the mail and the new brake pads, because the brake pads on it are shot. And I mean, these tires, I mean, look at that. I mean, they're practically brand new. So tires were probably almost worth what I paid for it. So yeah, got her all back together, just waiting on that side plastic piece and the brake pads, so I can get all new brakes on it, and she'll be up for sale. Now, this one, she's had a hard life. I actually bought this one really close to my house. Now, I bought it to pull the motor out of it and the transmission, because I have a Chinese side-by-side that I had bought online, brand new. It's not a Honda. I put Honda stickers on it just because it was red, and why not? My kids really enjoy this, and I don't mind it either. It's more of a utility. side by side, but it's got 4-wheel drive. It's a 400cc. They call it a Linhai, I think is how you pronounce it. It's got high and low and reverse. Again, 4-wheel drive. But it only does like 30, 35 miles an hour. And so for me, it's not very fun. So I thought, well, I saw this on a local classifieds, and I thought, well, this is a 97 Polaris Explorer 500. And I thought, well, that'd be cool. We'll pull the motor and transmission out of that, fabricate this to work in that, and that'd be sweet. And I know a lot of people are probably thinking, well, why don't you just buy one? Well, buy a Polaris Razor, or, a Yamaha Rhino, or one of the other brands that are out there. They're just too expensive. It's crazy what they charge for those, and I just, like I paid $300 for this 4-wheeler. But anyway, so that's what I was gonna do, but I was told that they thought, which if anybody knows that does this, you never get the real story from the previous owner. You never do. But anyway, it had been sitting outside with the carburetor off of it. Pretty much just like this. I took the front plastics off, but it had been sitting outside pretty much just like this. Rain, snow, everything. So I was almost positive I was going to have to pull the motor, rebuild it. But I got it home. The electric start was missing, or the electric starter motor was missing. The carburetor was there, but you can see that slide inside there, the carburetor slide. It was missing out of the carburetor that was on it. And anymore, you can get so many aftermarket parts on eBay. I just ordered a whole new carburetor. Like on that one, I just pulled it apart and cleaned it, and the old 86 over there, same thing, pulled it apart. I ended up getting a rebuild kit for that one, but like I said, they're so cheap sometimes it's just easier just to buy a whole one, a new one, But anyway, I was told they thought it had a bent valve. Like I said, I had pretty much planned on rebuilding it, new valves, new rings, new piston, the whole 9 yards, because I was going to use it to build that. But I got it home, pulled the valve cover off, and obviously you can't see if you have a bent valve just pulling the valve cover off, but each valve went down and back up just fine. I didn't hear anything pulling it over, so I went ahead, ordered the starter, ordered the carburetor. They got here, put them on, put some gas in the tank, and it fired right up. No ticking, no nothing. It sounds great. It doesn't smoke. So I've decided to just go ahead and put this one back together. I have all the plastics. I have The seat, I mean, everything's here. So one bad thing is the transmission is stuck in reverse. You can move the lever, but it doesn't change anything. It's in reverse. So I have to pull the transmission, open it up, see if I can figure out what's going on with that. And what else? Let's see. For some reason, somebody had taken the muffler off of it. So it is extremely loud. When I started it, holy crap, it was loud. Makes your ears ring. So, yeah, I mean, it runs great. It revved just fine, idled just fine. So, other than probably needing the valves adjusted, because it's probably never had the valves adjusted, and an oil change, the motor's fine. So, I'm just going to put it back together, and it's got great tires on it. Nice, beefy, just really aggressive tires. So yeah, this one should come back together nicely. It looks like everything's there. The only thing I am missing is this side, the plastic footwell that goes here. I'm missing that. I did order a muffler for it off eBay, and since I robbed the driven clutch off of this one, I've got a used one again off eBay coming for it, so which doesn't matter anyway because I've got to pull the transmission out anyway, so that would have had to have come off. I would have had to have taken that clutch off anyway. So yeah, she's gonna get put back together. I'm gonna pull the transmission today. Hopefully get it opened up. I'm not gonna record that. I mean, anybody that works on these, it's just nuts and bolts and getting it out of there, but I will try and record me opening it up and seeing what's going on in there. In case anybody wants to try and fix their own themselves. So, the other thing is, I'm assuming they hit something, or I'm not sure, but this left rear spindle and the bushings, the bolts, it's all gone. The A-arms aren't bent, and they all look okay, but the spindle and the bushings and everything is missing. And I think the wheel is, well, it's right there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see that wheel. It took a nice, nasty hit. So, whatever they hit, it was rough. So, but I got to figure out what's wrong with that transmission so I can drive it, see if the four-wheel drive works. But yeah, like I said, I was going to tear it apart and you just use the motor and transmission, but the frame's in good shape. It's dirty. It's, it was used on a farm, but yeah, I'm just going to put it back together. All the plastics are there. None of the plastics are broken, so I thought, well, why tear apart a perfectly good four-wheeler when I can put it back together and make a little money off of it? So I know you guys, a lot of people are really into side-by-sides and And I would love to have one myself. I really would. But, you know, for anybody out there can't afford a side-by-side or, you know, but still want to go have fun riding, I mean, just look. I mean, you can find four-wheelers like this cheap and fix them yourself. And, you know, parts online are cheap, used, or, you know, sometimes the aftermarket parts that are new are cheaper than buying something used, you know. So, I mean, a lot of these four-wheelers, people buy them and they use them a couple of times and then they end up sitting in the garage or sitting outside or in a barn, and they need very little work to get going again, and it's a cheap way to go out and have some fun. I love to ride, and, you know, side-by-sides are a lot of fun, but hey, if you can't afford it, go buy you a couple $100 four-wheeler and, you know, clean the carb and go out and have some fun. So, I want to try and, I've said this in my other videos, I want to try and show more of me working on them. They're really simple, guys. You don't need to be scared to work on them. I know there's a lot of channels out there that work on four-wheelers and show you how to do stuff. So it's not like I'm going into anything new or showing anything new, but I feel like there's not, and my channel's included, there's not a lot out there that like get really detailed in showing you what to do. And maybe I just haven't found those channels yet, but so that's what I want to do. I want to get into detail, like really detailed of diagnosing what's wrong with it and then how to fix it. And there's so many websites out there that will actually show you diagrams and break down right down to the bolts and washers of what you need to fix whatever four-wheeler you're working on. So you just gotta get in there and do it, guys. It's not hard, and like I said, it's cheap. It's a cheap way to go out and have some fun. So, and these 250s, at least in my area, they're everywhere, and they're usually pretty cheap. And, you know, yeah, they're probably not running, but, you know, I mean, it's a 250 two-stroke. You can get a top-end kit for like $80. So, I mean, even if the top end needed rebuilt, it's cheap. So you pay $200, $300, $400 for the four-wheeler top-end kit if it needs it, or if it doesn't, just clean the carburetor and get it running. I mean, and they're a lot of fun. They really are. I know it's not four-wheel drive and, you know, it's only a 250, but I mean, for you to go rip around with your buddies, they're a lot of fun. So anyway, just wanted to show everybody what's new to the garage. And this one's going to be around for a while because, like I said, I got to get that transmission out. I'm not going to show how to pull it out because, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's just nuts and bolts. You know, we're not pulling a transmission out of a car. We're pulling it out of a four-wheeler. I think it's pretty obvious what you got to do to get it out of there. But again, I will try and record me opening it up and seeing if we can figure out what's going on inside that. So more videos to come, guys, on this one. Again, it's gonna be in the garage for a minute. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. And I'm going to try and get back to putting out a video every Sunday and, show more of me working on these four-wheelers. And I am going to get back to the trommel and the RC stuff, but I haven't had time. So there will be more on that. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.